Hi, and thanks for joining us for our class today. So today we're going to use some really simple but effective Pilates exercises to help engage and strengthen our pelvic floor and core stability muscles. So I hope you enjoy the class today. Remember, always work to a level you feel comfortable with, because most importantly, we want you to enjoy it. Okay, so when you're ready, we're going to get started. We're going to start in sitting today. So just make sure that weight's going nice and evenly down through those sitting bones, and you can either have your legs crossed or legs out in front, whatever feels more comfortable. Ribs staying soft, and we're just engaging that core, just that 10-20%, remember. Collarbones nice and wide, and that neck nice and long and lifted. Okay, so we're going to bring those elbows into our side to begin with. We'll take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to open those arms apart, squeeze the shoulder blades gently back and fold back in. Good, breath in. As you breathe out, opening out. Breathing in as you fold back. Good. Breathing out, squeeze those shoulder blades gently back and then folding back. Good. Still keeping that core just gently engaged, just that 10-20%. Lovely. Opening out, squeezing gently back and folding in. Lovely. And again, opening out. Neck staying long, shoulders staying down, opening out and back. Now on this next one, we're going to open out, reach those palms away, palms down, palms up and fold back in. Lovely. And again, opening out, reach the hands away, palms down, palms up and folding back. Lovely. And again, opening out, reaching away, palms down, palms up, folding back. Still keeping those shoulders dropped down, that neck nice and long, palms down, palms up and folding back. Good. And again, opening out, reach away, palms down, palms up, folding back. Good. And again, opening out, reach away, palms down, palms up, fold back. One more time, open out, reaching away, palms down, palms up, and folding back in. Lovely. Relax those arms down, relax those shoulders. Okay, so have those hands onto the knee there, or just wider than those shoulders. We'll take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to reach our hands up in that Y shape and float back down. Good. Reaching out and lowering back down. Good. Breathing out as you're reaching out. And then breathing down. Good. And again, reaching out and lowering down. Lovely. Opening out and folding down. Good. And again, reaching up and then lowering down. Lovely. On this next one, we're going to reach up. Keep that there. Just bring those hands together and we're going to drop those elbows down. Squeeze those shoulder blades again. Reaching those hands back above your head. Drop down, squeeze the shoulder blades down and back. And up, still keeping that core gently engaged. Drop those shoulders down and back. And lifting up, good. Dropping the shoulders down and back. And lifting up, lovely. And again, drop down and back. And lifting up, one more time here. Dropping down and back. And lifting up, lovely. And then just relaxing those arms back down again. Well done, relax those shoulders. Okay, so we're just going to warm up our spine a little bit more with our bow and arrow stretch. So we're going to float our hands up to shoulder height here. Neck staying long, we'll take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to reach one arm round and back, following with that head and coming back. And again, opposite side, opening out, round and back, and then forward. So we're just rotating through that upper spine, that neck, and that head is following round, so looking round with that head, just stretching that neck as well. Good, so just going as far as you'll feel comfortable. If you're a little bit stiff in that upper back, you can only go so far. Just go to where you feel comfortable with. Opening out, folding back. Good, reaching away and folding back. Good. Let's do one more each side here. And folding back. And then lifting back to that centre. Relax those arms back down, relax those shoulders. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to come round and down onto our backs from here. So coming down onto your back. So in this position, we have our feet and knees that hip width distance apart. Just to begin with, we're going to tilt that pelvis forwards and back, just looking to find that midpoint between those two movements, so that pelvis in that nice neutral position. That core's gently engaged, those ribs are soft, collarbones wide, and that neck long. Okay, we're going to start here with a one leg stretch. So we're going to float one leg up into tabletop. We're going to reach the leg away, fold back, and lower back down. So if you can, we're going to breathe out as we reach the leg away, breathing in as you fold back and lower down. Breathing out as you lengthen, breathe in as you fold back. Now what we're really looking for is this pelvis, as you lengthen the leg away, we're not losing that neutral position. We're keeping that core engaged as we lengthen away, control folding back. Good. Reaching away, lengthening and folding back. So we're not letting that back arch. We're keeping that position, that control as we lengthen that leg away. Well done. Now if that's feeling comfortable here, we can either just stay at that level or we can float both legs up into double tabletop and then lengthen one leg at a time. Now if when you're doing this you do a few and you think, well, that feels enough, just come back to that single leg, do a few there and you can come back. So you don't have to stay at one level completely. We can always mix and match if that feels more comfortable. Good, so breathe out as we lengthen, breathe in as you fold back. Well done, keeping that core engaged, keeping that tummy flat. Well done, and back. Breathing out as you lengthen, breathing in as you fold back. Still keeping that core engaged, keeping that position. If you're starting to feel any of that back arching or any strain there, come back down to that single leg. Well done. Lovely. Last few here. Lengthening, folding back. Reaching away, folding back. Very good. And back. One more time each side. And then coming back to that centre. Well, if those legs are raised, we're going to lower them back down one at a time, back to that start. Very good. So feet and knees that hip width distance apart. If you need to tilt that pelvis forwards and back again, just find that midpoint between those two movements, that core's gently engaged. We're going to go into a bridge from here. So make sure your feet aren't too far away from you so you don't get cramp in your hamstrings. So just tucked a little bit towards your bottom. Arms down by your side. We'll take a breath in here. As you breathe out, tighten that pelvis under, lifting up into that bridge. Breath in here. Then as you breathe out, walking that spine slowly back down onto the mat. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, lifting up into that bridge. Breath in here. Then as you breathe out, walking that spine slowly back down onto the mat again. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, use those bottom muscles, lifting up into that bridge. Breath in here. And as you breathe out, walk that spine slowly back down onto the mat. Lovely. So we're really using those bottom muscles to help lift you up into this bridge position. Keep those bottom muscles engaged to help support you as you then lower slowly back down again. Good. Breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, lifting up. Breath in at the top here. Then as you breathe out, walking that spine slowly back down onto the mat in your own time. Good. Breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, lifting up. Breath in here. And as you breathe out, slowly walking that spine back down. Now on this next one, I'm going to take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to lift up, use those bottom muscles coming up into that bridge. Holding this here, we're going to float our hands up towards the ceiling, shoulder blades down, breath in. And as you breathe out, walking that spine gently back down onto the mat and float the hands down to join. Lovely. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, lifting up into that bridge. Floating those hands up to the ceiling, shoulder blades down, breath in here. Then as you breathe out, walk that spine gently back down onto the mat. Float the hands to join. Lovely. Last few. Breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, use those bottom muscles, lifting up into that bridge. Float the hands up to the ceiling, shoulder blades down, breath in. And as you breathe out, walking that spine gently back down onto the mat and float the hands down. Good. One more time. Breath in. As you breathe out, tucking that pelvis under, lifting up into that bridge. Float the hands up to the ceiling, shoulder blades down, breath in. And as you breathe out, walk that spine slowly back down onto the mat and bring those hands back down to join. Lovely. Let's bring those knees in, have a quick hug and just stretch that out. Well done. So breathing in and out here. On that out breath, just nice little relaxed stretch out from there. Well done. Breath in. And as you breathe out, relaxing down into that stretch a little bit further. Well done. Good. Then we'll lower those legs back down one at a time. Back to that hip width distance. If you need to, again, just tilt that pelvis forwards and back. Just make sure you're looking for that neutral position. That core's gently engaged, ribs still soft, collarbones wide. Okay, so we're going to go into our hip twist movement now. Now I want you to imagine you've got some headlights on these hip bones and they're pointing up towards the ceiling. So we don't want to let our hips roll or rotate. We're trying to keep those headlights pointing upwards. So we take a breath in. As you breathe out, let one knee fall out to the side, just as far as you've got control, and you can keep those headlights pointing forwards. And then as you breathe in, fold that leg back to the centre. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, drop that knee over. And then you use those toe muscles to help bring that knee back to that centre. Good, breath in. As you breathe out, opening out. Breathing in as you fold back. So keeping those hip bones pointing up to the ceiling. If you're feeling them roll or rotate or too much movement through that centre, which we're trying to keep nice and stable, you just need to make that movement a little bit smaller. Okay, so we're just losing that control. So it's quite a subtle movement, but actually works us really hard when we really focus on concentrating through that centre. Well done. So opening out, breathing in to fold back, breathing out, breathing in to fold back. Now if that's comfortable here, we can float one leg up into single tabletop, and same again, opening out, folding back, still keeping those hip bones pointing forwards, opening out, folding back. Good. And again, breathing out, breathing in as you fold back. So just keeping that nice and controlled, breathing out as you open out, breathing in as you fold back. Good. Lovely, keeping those hip bones pointing forwards, not losing that control. Well done. Now for the last few, if that feels comfortable, you can bring both legs up into double tabletop. We're opening out side to side from here. Really focusing on those headlights again, making sure we're not losing that control. Now you might find as you move up through those levels that you won't go quite so far with that leg, and that's fine, that's normal because we're challenging that stability a little bit more. So you might find that if you come onto double tabletop, just have a little movement with that leg, and that's fine. So keep that control. We want to keep this control through that centre. We're working on that core stability here. Well done. Just going to do last few here. Good. Dropping over, folding back. Well done. So either with those feet down, single leg, or this double leg, just pick what's comfortable. I'm just doing the last few. Let's just do one more each side. And then folding back from there. Well done. And lowering those legs one at a time. Okay, so we're going to come round into 4-point kneeling now. So we're going to come round into all fours. So just having your hands underneath those shoulders and knees are underneath those hips. Those elbows should be soft and not locked back, so the insides of the elbows should be facing each other here. If it feels too much on your wrists, you can come up onto a fist if that feels more comfortable. Okay, so we're just going to mobilise our spine here gently with a cat stretch movement. So breath in, as you breathe out, we're going to tuck that head under, arch that back up, tucking under, flexing the spine, and then drop down into that extension position. Good, so tucking under, arching that back up, and then drop down and extend the spine. So we're going into this C shape, curling up, and then that opposite C shape as we drop down and extend through our spine. Lovely, and again, tucking under, and then dropping down. Lovely, just gently mobilising through the spine here. It's a really nice stretch to do. And tucking under. Good, one more time here, drop down and then arching up. And on this next one, just find that middle point between those two movements. So our back is nice and flat, that core still gently engaged, that belly button just drawn up towards the spine there. Elbows staying soft. So we're going to tuck our toes under. We're just going to do a leg pull and prone prep to start with. So elbows staying soft. I want you to take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're just going to lift up our knees just an inch off the ground, breath in to hold, and as you breathe out, lower back down. Now you'll feel that tummy tightening here. Breath in, as you breathe out, lift up, breath in to hold, and as you breathe out, lower down. Now if you lift too high, it actually makes it easier. So just lift those knees an inch off the ground, okay? So breath in, as you breathe out, lift up, breath in to hold, and as you breathe out, lower back down. Good, and again, breath in. As you breathe out, lift up, breath in to hold, and as you breathe out, lower down. Good, and again, breath in. As you breathe out, lift up. Breath in to hold. As you breathe out, lower down. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, lift up. Breath in to hold. And breathe out as you lower down. Lovely. And again here, breath in. As you breathe out, lift up. Breath in to hold. As you breathe out, lower down. Well done. Okay, now if that feels comfortable, we can bring our hand another hand and a half in front. But if that felt enough, stay there. But if you want to, we're just going to do a couple. Breath in. As you breathe out, lift up, reach forward into this plank position. Breath in to hold. And as you breathe out, lowering back down. Good. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, lift up, reach forwards. Breath in. And as you breathe out, lowering back down. Well done. Just last couple if you can. Breath in. As you breathe out, lift up, reach forwards. Breath in to hold. And as you breathe out, lowering back down. Well done. One last time. Breath in. As you breathe out, lift up, reach forwards, breath in to hold, and as you breathe out, lowering back down from there. Well done. Okay, so let's just come off those wrists a second, have a little stretch. So just nice breath in and out here into this child pose stretch. Just sink that bottom down onto your heels, relax down through those shoulders. So breath in, and as you breathe out, just sink down here. Good. One more time, breath in, and as you breathe out, relaxing down. Well done. So we're going to come back up into that 4-point kneeling position, elbows soft, knees under those shoulders, and we're going to do our swimming movement from here, or Superman, whatever you want to call it. So still make sure those elbows are soft, that core still gently engaged, and we want to keep this back nice and flat. So take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to reach one leg away, breath in, and breathing as we come back in again. So we're going to breathe out as we lengthen, breathe in as we fold back. So keeping that control through that centre, that core engaged as we're lengthening the leg away, keeping this back nice and level and folding back. Good. Reaching away. Now either stay with just this leg here if that feels enough, or if you want to, we can add in that opposite arm lengthening and folding back. As you're reaching away, keeping that back nice and level as we reach opposite arm, opposite leg, reaching away and folding back. Now, often described, imagine you've got that tray of drinks on your back. You don't want it to spill. We're keeping that nice and level as we reach away and fold back. Well done. Reaching away and folding back. Excellent. Breathing out, so reaching away, breathing in as we're folding back. So just nice and controlled movement, reaching away. Good. And folding back. Lovely. Reaching away and folding back. Good. Let's do a few more here, keeping that back nice and flat. That core is gently engaged. Breathing out as you lengthen, breathing in as you fold back. Breathe out as you lengthen. That neck staying long, so looking down at that mat, so keep that neck lengthened. Good. Reaching away. Very good. Just a few more here. And that leg doesn't need to lift too high because I want to keep that back nice and level. So I'm not losing that control through that centre, and that's quite hard to do. Sometimes people try and go too far with this movement, lift their arm and leg too high, but then we just lose all that stability through that centre. So that's why we describe the tray of drinks on our back, really encouraging you to keep that level. Because as soon as you do that, you lose that level spine position. Good. And again, reaching away, folding back. Let's just do one more time each side. Lengthening away, folding back. And back. Lovely. One more time, just drop down and stretch out here. Just drop that bottom down onto your heels. Have a nice stretch out. Breath in. As you breathe out, sinking down that little bit further. Breath in. And as you breathe out, dropping that bottom down onto your heels. Just having a nice stretch out here, okay? Breath in and out. Relaxing down. Well done. And just slowly walking back up from there. Well done. Okay, so we're going to come down onto our sides now. So if you've got a little block or pillow you can use just to support your head. So we're going to come down, just supporting that neck here. So we're going to start with our knees bent up here, hips staying stacked on top of each other. That core is still gently engaged. And we're going to lift up this top leg to that hip height position. Now imagine there's a table there. We're going to glide the leg forwards and then gliding it back. So just imagine that sliding on that table, gliding forwards and gliding back. So keeping this leg at that hip height level, really challenging those glutes to do that. But we're keeping the stability through here. So we shouldn't feel our pelvis tilting forwards and back. So we're keeping that control through the center. Now, if that feels okay with that knee bend, then we can straighten the leg and glide the leg forwards and gliding it back. So point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. Keeping that control as you glide forwards and glide back. Good. So point the toes to glide forwards, flex the foot to glide back, keeping that core control through that center. Well done. Point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. All the while keeping that leg at that hip height level to really challenge those glutes. Good. Point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. Point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. Well done. Point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. So keep that leg at that hip height level. Point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot, gliding back. Very good. Keeping that leg at that hip height level. Well done. Gliding forwards, gliding back. Excellent. A few more here. Gliding forwards, gliding back. Really challenging that control. Well done. Gliding forwards, gliding back. Let's do one more here. Glide that leg forwards, gliding it back, coming back to that center. Relax that leg back down, bend that knee up. Well done. Okay, so we're just going to drop that block down onto the floor. So the head at the front of it. Arms are out in front. We're going to lift up this top arm, opening out through that chest, looking round and back, following with that head, and then coming back to that start. So we lift up this top arm, opening out, coming round and back, and then back to that star. Good. Lifting up through that top arm, following around with your head, looking round and back, and then coming back to that start. And again, lift up through that top arm, opening out, coming round and back, and then back to that start. Looking around and back, and then back to that start. Lovely. So really rotating, opening out through that chest, rotating that upper back. Don't pull through that shoulder too much. Bend the elbow if you need to, opening out, and then folding back. Good. And again, lifting up, opening out, and then folding back. And again, lift up through that top arm, opening out through that chest, looking round and back to that center. Well done. We'll just do a few more here. Your head just rolling on that block, rotating through that neck. Good. And then folding back. One more time here, reaching around and back. And then back to that center. Well done. Okay, so we're just going to come round onto the opposite side to do the same again. So bring that block with you if you're using it, or pillow. Then we're going to come down onto that side, just using that block just to support your head and neck there. Okay, so knees bent up as we did before, hips staying stacked, that core's gently engaged. And we're going to lift this top leg to that hip height level. And we're just going to imagine that leg's on that table, glide it forwards and glide it back. So keep that leg at that hip height as we glide forwards and glide back. Well done. Glide forwards and then glide back. Well done. Keeping that leg at that hip height level, really challenging those glutes here as we glide forwards and glide back. Well done. So as before, if that feels comfortable here, then we can straighten the leg and glide the leg forwards, glide it back. If the leg's straight, then point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. Point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. Make sure we're not losing that control through that pelvis, so not too much movement forwards and back there. We're just keeping that nice and control through the center. Well done. So you can put your hand on the small of your back here just to check that it's not arching as you're moving that leg. Just make that movement a bit smaller if it is. Good, so point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back, all the while keeping that leg at that hip height level, really challenging those glutes as well. Good. Point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. Point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. Good, last few. Point to glide forward, flex to glide back. Keep that leg at that hip height, make sure it hasn't dropped. And that leg can be straight or bent, whatever's more comfortable. Gliding forwards, gliding back. Well done. A few more here. Keeping that control. Well done. Glide forwards, glide back. Well done. Let's do one more here. Point the toes to glide forward, flex the foot to glide back. Back to that centre. Lower that leg down. Well done. So drop that block down onto the floor, have your head at the front of it, arms out in front. We're going to lift up this top arm, opening out that chest, coming round and back, following with your head, and then slowly back to that start. And again, lifting up that top arm, opening out through that chest, looking round and back, and then coming back to that start. And again, opening out, looking round and back, following with your head, and coming round and back. Remember, don't pull through that shoulder too much. Bend the elbow if you need to. Opening out, round and back. And then back to that centre. Well done. So just opening out, looking round with your head on that block. And then coming back to that start. Good. And then folding back. Lovely. Lift up through that top arm. Opening out through that chest. And then coming back to that start again. Well done. A few more here. Lift up through that top arm, coming around and back, following with that head, and then back to that centre. Good. Okay, let's just do one last one here. We're going to reach that arm back, looking round and back, and then back to that centre. Well done. So we'll drop that block or pillow, whatever you're using, to the side. We're going to come round onto our backs. And we're going to stretch out a little bit more from here. So just coming onto our backs, feet bent up. So feet and knees at hip width distance apart. Either have your arms down by your side or out to the side of you. And we're going to drop the knees over to one side and turn our head to the opposite side. Use those toe muscles to bring those knees back up to that centre. And then over to that opposite side. So again, use those toe muscles to bring those knees back up and then over to that opposite side. So just opening out side to side from here, dropping those knees over, turning your head, using those toe muscles, coming back up and over to the opposite side. So just opening out side to side from here, drop those knees over, turning your head, then coming back up. Lovely. So we're just rotating through that spine here, dropping those knees over, coming back up and over to that opposite side. Good, so opening out side to side from here, enjoying that stretch, but still using those toe muscles to help bring those knees back up and then over to that opposite side. Well done. Just do a few more here, dropping over and coming back up. Lovely. Let's do one more each side, dropping those knees over, using those toe muscles, coming back up to that centre, then over to that opposite side. And then back to the centre there. Bring those arms back down by your side. Well done. Okay, so we're going to stretch out through those bottom muscles now. So one foot onto the opposite knee. Allow the leg just to relax open there. If that's enough of a stretch, then just stay there. Or if you can, we're going to bring the other leg up into you, just as far as you can, and hold this stretch. So just breathe in and out here. On that out breath, if you can, just sink down into that stretch just that little bit further. Just stretching into that bottom upper thigh here, and we're holding this stretch. So breathing in and out. On that out breath, just sink down that little bit further. And again, breath in. As you breathe out, relaxing down. Well done. Breath in. And as you breathe out, relaxing down. Well done. Good. And one more time. Breath in and out. And relaxing down there. Lovely. So we'll lower that leg back down again. We'll do the same on the other side. So opposite foot onto the other knee. Allow that leg just to relax open there. If that's enough of a stretch, then just stay there. If you can, we'll bring the other leg up and towards you, just as far as you feel comfortable. And we're going to hold this stretch here. So we're just going to breathe in and out here. On that out breath, if you can, just sink down into that stretch that little bit further. Breath in. And as you breathe out, relaxing down just that little bit further if you can. Well done. Breath in. As you breathe out, relax down that little bit further, just to where you're comfortable, just feeling that stretch in that bottom, that upper thigh here. We're holding this stretch, well done. Upper body nice and relaxed, no tension in there either. Breathing in and out into that stretch on that out breath. Well done. And one more time, breath in. And as you breathe out, relaxing down. Well done. Lowering those legs back down. We're going to stretch out through our hamstrings now. So knee up to the ceiling, lengthen through the back of the leg, toes pointing up to the ceiling. You can use your hand just to support that leg here. Just straightening that leg as much as you can. Just lengthen through the back, through those hamstrings here. And we're going to hold this stretch. So again, breathing in and out, holding that here. On that out breath, if you're able to, just sink into that stretch just that little tiny bit further if you can. Well done. Breath in. And out. Now if you can, we're going to point and flex through the ankle here, just moving slightly, changing that stretch, moving through that ankle. Well done. So pointing and flexing. Excellent. Very good. And then holding that stretch again, toes pointing up towards the ceiling, lengthen through the back of the leg. Very good. And then lowering that leg back down, lovely. Then same on the other side, knee up to the ceiling, lengthen through the back of the leg, toes pointing up to the ceiling, holding that stretch here, lengthening through the back. Well done. And then we're going to just lengthen through that leg. If you can, we're going to point and flex through the ankle, just changing that stretch slightly. Upper body still relaxed, no tension there, just supporting the leg. Well done. And just holding that stretch again, toes pointing up to the ceiling, lengthening through, breathing in and out as we're holding this stretch. Well done, breath in and out. And then lowering that leg back down, well done. Okay, so we're going to come back up into sitting from here. So just sitting comfortably, either again with your legs crossed or legs out in front, however you're comfortable. Weight going nice and evenly through those sitting bones, that core still gently engaged and ribs are soft. Arms just out like a little bit wider than those shoulders, and we take a breath in. As we breathe out, we're going to reach our hands up to the ceiling and then lowering back down. Good. And again, reaching up and lowering down. Lovely. And again, reach up and down. So just opening out, nice and tall, lovely, and lower down. On this next one, we're going to reach up, drop those hands behind your head, rotate around to the side, back to the centre, around to the opposite side, back to the centre, and reaching up nice and tall. Good. And again, reach up, drop hands behind your head, rotating around, hand back, opposite side, hand back, reach up tall, and lower down. Lovely. One more time, reach up. Drop those hands behind your head into that spine twist, rotating around, opposite side, reach up, and then lowering back down. Well done, relax those shoulders. So we're going to just finish with our nice mermaid stretch. We're going to drop one hand down, reach that hand over, lengthen through that side, breath in here, and as we breathe out, back to that centre. And again, dropping over, reach over, breath in here, and as we breathe out, back to that centre. One more time each side. Drop down, reach over, breath in. As we breathe out, back to that centre. Last time, reach over, breath in. As we breathe out, back to that centre. Just relax those shoulders. Fantastic. Well done. Well, thanks for joining us for our class today. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.